Okay, so here we go on today's project. We are making our cell phone case. And these are the items that you're going to need. You're going to need some sort of cutting device. A pair of scissors will work. I have a little pair of snippers that I keep with my crochet stuff. You're going to need a darning needle, a tapestry needle, whatever needle is going to work to fit through the size yarn that you purchased. Let me put mine away so I don't lose it. These tapestry needles are by Clover. They're called Chibi. They come in a little set. I think you get 3 in there. I also have the ones by Boyd yarn needles. Okay, so I yarned over my finger twice, so there's 2 loops on the hook. Take the back and pull it over to the front. Take the now back piece of yarn and pull it over your finger, essentially making a loop. Insert the loop on your hook, and now you have your working yarn. You have your finished slip knot, and here we go. We're going to chain stitch the number of chains that it takes for you to accommodate the edge of your phone. Okay, the bottom or top edge, it doesn't really matter because they're even, but you need to have enough chains that it will slip easily once your project is finished over your phone. Okay, so I'm going to do 11. There's 1, 2, 3. I am working in the wrong end of the yarn. Let's go back to our slip stitch. Gina makes mistakes, so there's no problem when you make mistakes. I was crocheting in my cut end because I cut a long end. Remember, I didn't do that on purpose, but I want you to make sure that you give yourself plenty of room. Actually, this is more than you would ever need, but this is probably 10 inches of yarn so that you can sew in your project, or I'm going to show you an additional way to do it on this project right now. But if you would prefer to sew it in, you need to have plenty of yarn. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to chain up the number of items that we need for our phone. In my case, that's going to be 11 chains. So 1, 2, 3. Now remember to chain. What you're going to do is take your yarn from your slip knot, and you're going to yarn over and pull through. Okay, so we've chained 1, 2, 3, and now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the number I need for my phone. See here, that fits across nicely the bottom of my phone. Unless you have an iPhone 6 Plus, you're not going to probably need that many, so make sure you measure the bottom of your phone. And then the number 11 one is so that I have a working piece of yarn to go, so that my yarn has a space to go. Okay, so I needed 10 for my phone. You find what's best for yours, and now I have 11 for my working room for my next row. Okay, so for your very first row, what you're going to do is you are going to, so this is my number 11 stitch. So see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 on the hook. I want to come back into my last stitch. For mine, it's number 10. And we're going to take that top leg of that V, just the top leg. Okay, don't have 2 loops on the hook, just 1. Only 1 leg of the V for this row in this project. Okay, so You've got the 1 loop on the hook. You're going to yarn over. Now there's 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. You're going to go into your next stitch, just the top leg of that V. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. Now there's 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Insert your hook into your next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now there's 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, I want you to do that all the way until you get to your second stitch that you made out of your chain. So not number 1, but number 2, and stop there and wait on me. This is going to be your most difficult row to make. I'm just being honest. It always is. After this, after you get through this, it will be a lot easier. Your very first initial row off of a chain is the hardest row to get when you're a brand new crocheter. Okay. See, even I have trouble because I keep dropping, you're moving it, you're whatever. It's just not comfortable. Okay, so I have 2 left, so I'm going to do my very last one where I told you to wait on me. Okay. And here we are at the last one. This is our first stitch. Not down here in the slip stitch, but in your first actual stitch. So actually, when you're looking at it, there's a little piece of yarn in here. There's the right leg of the V, and then there's this piece of yarn, which is the left leg of the V on your next stitch. You want to insert that and only pull up the one piece . Ms. Beauté 9307 Fitness. Hello, that beeping on my phone was you. So as I'm making this tutorial, you are commenting to me on my prior video saying that you love crochet and that you have the same hooks as me. Hi, I'm so glad you're here joining us. Yay! And to make a corner for your project, you need to put 3 single crochets inside this same exact stitch. Okay, so you've got 1 in there, same hole. You're going to go back and you're going to put another single crochet, same hole, and 1 more, and it kind of turns your work around. And now you're actually, if it makes sense, you're coming back on the other side of your chain. See, it just kind of turns you around. We were over here. We went down this row and we put them 3 stitches in there, and it kind of just turned us to the other side of the work. Okay, so what's happening is here is the piece of yarn that you started with. That's on the very first slip stitch, slip knot. That's your beginning yarn that we need to either sew in or hide into our work. And this particular project, I'm going to show you how to hide it. It's going to work right on top of this project, right inside there. Okay, so now you're working the bottom side of those chain stitches. Now I'm going to show you something real quick. Hold on. Okay, so you're going to insert your hook into the project, and you're going to yarn over and pull through, and you're going to make your single crochet. Now, let me just show you this. See that made quite a bit of a hole. Let's do it again. So I'm going to show you. Now, that yarn from the beginning, I'm holding that on the top of this work so that you're going to actually hide it inside the center of the stitch. So let's go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull that work through, and then yarn over and finish your single crochet. Okay, see that's a pretty good size little hole there. But that is because I am working 2 in 2 chains. Okay, but see how it kind of pulls together and tightens up. Now I'm going to take these 2 stitches that I just did out, and I'm going to show you with one. And you can choose whichever one you want to do. They're both going to hold your phone. Neither one is going to make that big of a difference, but I just want to show you both. Okay, so we're back at our 3 in our initial corner stitch. Now this is what's going to happen if you only take one leg of that V instead of the last 2 of the 3 pieces. So I've made my single crochet in that stitch, and then there's the next one, and again that yarn is sitting right on the top. Okay, so there's 2, and you got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See how they are there? But I'm only going in the top piece of yarn. So here it is in this one. So the next one is right here. Let me do it one more time. Make your single crochet. So see there, it kind of just lets it all just have a little bit more, it just seems a little sturdier to me instead of having those 2 big holes. So that's the way I prefer to do it. Okay, so we're going to stick it in that next leg of that V. And of course your yarn is still on top of your stitch here. Yarn over and pull through. And sew on to the end of the row. And I will continue on, and I will meet you at the end of this row. So, you know, it looks like a big old hole, but whenever we do it, when we do the next one, it tightens up. And you always want to count when you're done, and you want to make sure that on this side, if there's 10, that on this side there's 10 as well. You want to make sure that your count is even, otherwise your project will come out wonky and it will not, it won't fit. It won't fit your phone. Okay, make sure that the end is still over the top of that stitch. Yarn over and pull through 2. Insert your hook. Now, here we are. We have 2 left. This one and this one. Okay, so we're going to do this last one. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Here we are at the end. At this point, your piece of yarn is essentially worked in. I mean, you can, just to get it out of the way, so you don't have to deal with it no more, it's not going to go anywhere because it's worked in 9 stitches. It's not going anywhere. So you can take your cutter, make sure you're only getting that piece of yarn or you're in trouble, and snip it off. It's gone. Okay, just get rid of it. Okay, so we have this last edge stitch, and this is where we started. This is where we chained up. So, normally you would slip stitch this, and you would chain up, and you would go around. But to make this easy for you, and you don't have to worry about one more thing until your phone is finished, till your phone case is finished, we're just going to work in the round continually. Okay, so we're going to insert our hook into now the entire V. Both sides, not in the slip stitch, not in the chain one that we did, but in the first actual stitch around the corner. You see that there? We've got both eyes of the V. This is the very first single crochet we made. You're going to slip your hook into underneath both legs of that V. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both. That's your most kind of weird, confusing stitch. But from this point forward, you have nothing to do until you're finished except single crochet. So you're going to stick your hook in, yarn over, pull through, okay, single crochet all the way around. So to single crochet one more time, you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through. You are going to do this all the way around this, these single crochets we met. Okay, Gina knows how to talk. Okay, single crochet in every, making sure you hit both legs of the V to make your project sturdy, all the way around. Okay, so when you get to the end over here, this end, I'm going to show you something. Okay, so here we are on that end. And Gina has a knot. Now this is going to happen to you. Might as well just show you. My paper fell off of my yarn, and this is how my yarn ended up at this point. So at this point, before I started this project, I should have used my yarn baller, and I'll show you that soon, and just fixed up my yarn because I knew it was going to do this. At this point, you kind of have a little bit of trouble because this yarn is becoming a mess. So if you want to take the time to make a ball, you know, you make yourself a little circle and you just keep going around, and then you take it off your finger. You go like this, and you just start going this way, and then before you know it, you're just going around and around, and it becomes a ball. I actually have a machine called a yarn baller, and I make little yarn balls so that this doesn't happen. Okay, so we're at this last corner stitch right here, and you're going to make your stitch, but you're going to be confused. You're like, I don't understand how is this going to make my case? I don't understand this. Well, watch. You just go through this row, and you're going to, at this point, it's just going to make your case a case. It's just going to start fitting your phone. There is no more, this is the easiest project you'll probably ever make, because you've went through the hard part. So you're single crocheting. Just keep single crocheting around and around and around and around. And you're really getting the hang of the single crochet. And you stick your hook in the right hole. Let me get to the end here, and I'm going to show you, and then we'll cut off and we'll move to the end. Now you're just going to make these stitches the number of times that you need. This is probably good right here. Okay. So anytime you need to take your hook out, you want to pull your yarn up just to make sure that you're not going to lose your work, and it'll stay that way. It's not going to go anywhere until you insert your hook again into your little loop, and you pull your working yarn back down. Okay, that's how simple it is. You want to stop your work, you want to go to lunch, you want to be done for the next month, whatever your case is, just as long as you pull that up, you're good. Your project's not going to go nowhere. Okay, but I want to show you here how that just automatically looped up, and now you've got the bottom of your case. And in my case, my little phone will fit right in that bottom. You see that there? It's just gonna keep going up and up and up and up and up, and you're just gonna continually single crochet until you have the length of the case that you want. Okay, so continue on, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so we're going to talk about the end of this project real quick. So I've made all of my rows. I'm at the top. My phone fits in it. Let me show you that. I should have left it in there. Sorry. Okay, oh, there's my little Carter Eva and my little baby, my little grandbaby. She turned 1 yesterday. Okay, so we're at the top. Here we are. It's going to fit in our foam. We're going to do a little loop to come over, and then I'll put a button on there to close it up. And then I'll show you a picture of that once I'm finished. But okay, so here we go. We're going to finish this. And take our phone out. Okay, so we are on our last row. We've hit the end. We're at the side here. See, you've made it as long as you needed to make it to fit your phone. We're on a side. Okay, we are going to now I want you to see something. Because we worked in the round, one side is slightly taller than the other. Do you see that there? I mean, we're talking maybe 1/8 of an inch or less. But it is slightly because we were working in the round. I went the easiest route I could for you for your first project. It's a little bit taller. So what we're going to do is what's called a slip stitch over to the middle. Let me take my jewelry off. Sorry, I'm on my way to church. And I don't want that to distract you. Okay, so instead of doing a single crochet here, we're at the side, and there's no tried and true requirement here. We're just winging it. There's no pattern. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called slip stitching all the way to the center, so that we can make our little hook. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're still going to insert your hook into that stitch, and you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull it through. But instead of doing your single crochet, you're just going to pull through again. Now, it's really not going to add much space to the project, but it will bring it up enough to kind of even out your project a little bit. Okay, so we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And you want to do this to the center of your project. I should say 2 stitches, 2 stitches prior to the center. Okay, so we're slip stitching over. Okay, so how far is it to get to the center of my project? Basically what I do is, and you can count across your stitches if you want to be exact. So you count the number of stitches from one end to the other, and you want to go, like say for instance, in my case, I was going 10 across. So on number 4 and number 6 is going to be the beginning of my loop and the ending of my loop. Okay, so I did 2. We're going to slip stitch 3 and 4. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch 1 more. Okay, and this is the last one on this side. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull it back through, and pull it through again. Okay, slip stitch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain probably, let's see here. Let's start with 10. Chain 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so did we make enough of a chain to, let me take my hook off. So I did 10 right now. Currently I did 10. And let me just grab a button. Hold on. Okay, I grabbed my buttons. Let's decide which kind of button. Now it's fall. I might pick something fall or green. But green's cute too. I like this plain orange one. That's cute. Ooh, this one's cute, and it has a little bit of cream in the center. That's really cute. I think we're going to pick this one. Let's see what she looks like. Do we like her? She's cute. I think we're going to pick her. Okay, so that's the one we're picking. And so we made our chain. Okay, so let's assume I sewed my button on. Everybody, I'm sure, can sew a button on a project. Okay, so we've got our button on. Do I have enough room to make this loop over with 10? I'm saying no. So I'm going to chain 15. Now the neat thing about crochet is how forgiving it is. Once you get your loop set up, if it isn't the right number of chains, you just take it out. You just take it out and keep going. Okay, so there was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, okay? So I got 15 stitches, chain stitches. Okay, I'm going to skip number 5. So there's it's in number 4. Here's number 5. And I'm going to go back into number 6. So I skipped number 5. I'm going to insert my hook into number 6. I'm going to yarn over and pull through again. Still slip stitching. And you're going to slip stitch over to the edge of your project. Okay, so I'm going to, well, let's go ahead and do that. Let's slip stitch to the end. So that was number 7, number 8. I was a little close there, sorry guys. Number 9. And number 10. Okay, now, before I close off, I want to see what that looks like. Because as long as I don't cut my working yarn, I can make as many changes as I want. Okay, so we're going to assume our button is sewn on, probably right about there, I'm betting. And do I have enough room to get it over? Yes. So ultimately, in the end, this is what your project is going to look like. What do you think? Now, I did this probably in about 45 minutes. You are going to take longer. It's going to take you a while. Give yourself a good hour and a half, probably, to do it all. And then that's going to be our first project. Now, of course, you're going to just sew your button in on the top piece, okay? Not through both, obviously, because you got to be able to get your phone in. And that is the project. Okay, so let me just show you how to close off. Okay, now actually what I did here was I took my number 10 stitch back out because I want to show you how to seal it up at the same time. So here you are, you're making your number 10 stitch on your very end of your project, and you're making your slip stitch. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and you've cut your yarn, you've gave yourself enough room to sew in, and you just pull it through. That's it. There, it's knotted. You're good. And then you're going to insert your tapestry needle or your darning needle, depending on what you want to call it. Okay, so I usually use a pretty good size one. Okay. These are made by, I guess, Clover Chibi. They're made by Clover, and it just comes with 2 or 3 needles, and then I just bought those other ones that I showed you in the beginning. Just so you could kind of see. These ones are by Boyd. So I'll just open these and put these in this little round, and I'll have plenty more than I need in my lifetime. Needles. Okay. Okay, we're going to insert our yarn into our needle. So this is how I do it. I take the needle and I put it under the yarn, pulling a taunt loop. and I take the needle out, and now I've got a tight area, and then I put the yarn. See how big that eye is? So there's plenty of room to pull that through, and I just pull it through. Okay, so now you've threaded your yarn onto your needle, and I go backwards. I go in the opposite way I was just working my yarn. Now let me just say something here. You're going to find this, and you might prefer to do this just for finishing. Can you see? Okay, here's the back of the work, and this is where we were doing our single crochets. And right over here is where we started our slip stitches. But I just noticed right now, and I've already cut my yarn, I don't have room to do it. Here's our first slip stitch. Look how it made like a little decorative edge. Can you see that? It made like a little decorative edge on the front, like a finishing thing. I almost would finish these slip stitches all the way around to the beginning, and then you have a little finished edge all the way around your project. That's really cute. I didn't even notice that it did that. I like that. I wish I had done it, but I didn't. So it's only on the back of the project, because this is the back. This is where your button is. This is the front, so it's not cute. It's not as cute on the front like it is on the back. But this is where your button's going to go. Where'd my button go? It was this orange one, huh? See what I'm saying? There's your front. I might actually do it again myself, just because it's going to bug me. Okay, so we've cut our yarn, and we're going to finish off. So we've attached our yarn to our needle, and we just, not in the stitch you just did, it can't be in this one. It has to be either under it so that you have a loop of thread somewhere. So I'm going to go under this since it made that decorative edge. See there? It's coming up underneath that stitch. And then I'm going to just only go through this very first center. And I don't want to see that yarn no more. So I'm going to actually do it in the inside because I don't want it to mess up that pretty design. Okay, so just weave your yarn in and out about 3 or 4 times using the inside loops of your project, and pull that through. Okay, and you're essentially hiding your yarn inside your project. Your outside is still pretty. Your yarn that you're sewing in your ends is on the inside. Okay, and now you hear someone in the background weed eating. I have a neighbor who has, I don't know, taken a liking to his yard. You never know. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to actually go, I put my needle through. I'm going to go back and do that same thing again to finish this project off. I make a little loop there, and then I just turn my work around and I do it one more time back the opposite way. So I insert my hook into a couple of the stitches. Remember, you're on the inside of your little bag here. Okay, and then pull through and just pull it all the way through, all of it. And then you're going to clip your work. And it's gone. It's all gone. Okay? And there's your project. Have fun, and if you guys have any questions, holler. Give me a private message or a comment preferred, so that maybe everybody else might have the same question. We can answer it on the page and hopefully help everybody. Like if you liked this project, share and comment, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye. God bless.